Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Amy Austin.
And I'm Clay Yeager. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics.
Over the weekend, the women's basketball team looked to add to their win streak against Appalachian State, and the streak continued for the Trojans. 6 wins in a row and counting. The women's basketball team added another victory to the win column. The Trojans defeated Appalachian State 91-87.
We're very excited to be where we are right now and to get this win against a very good, very well coached Appalachian State team. I feel like the thing that changed the game in our favor was our pressure. I think a lot of other things were equal. They even out-rebounded us, but they couldn't get as many shots off as they wanted to because we made them turn it over before they could get the shot.
The Trojans are riding a 6-game winning streak, and this streak marks the best start in Sun Belt Conference play in Troy history. Head coach Chandra Rigby said this is what her team has been working towards all along.
It's a blessing. As I just said in the locker room, this is what we've had faith for, that, you know, nobody could see it in the past, but we kept envisioning it. We kept praying for it and hoping for it and working for it. And that's the only way I know how to get something that you don't have is to follow those steps. And we've been doing it, and we fully expected it to happen, and we're thankful it's happening now.
Not only was this game critical for Troy's win streak, but Ashley Beverly Kelly had a career-high game in which she scored 34 points and surpassed the 1,000-point mark in her career as a Trojan.
I was amazed at the end of the game that she had 34 points because it never seemed like she was struggling or pushing or anything. It was very natural. She took what they gave her and it came to her.
I'm blessed, and I want to give God all the glory because without him there is no me. And I'm just excited that we have a streak now, and I feel like our chemistry is growing stronger and stronger, and it's showing how strong that we have become as a team as a whole.
Beverly Kelly is the 21st player in Troy's program history to score 1,000 career points. The women's basketball team then looked to defend its win streak against the conference leader UALR on Thursday night. The Trojans fell to UALR 82-56. The first half was the downfall for Troy with poor shooting. Troy fell behind from the start and was never able to catch up to the Trojans. Headed into halftime, Troy trailed UALR 42-18. Troy shot better in the second half to answer the UALR Trojans 40 points with 38 of their own, but the damage was already done. Troy shot a field goal percentage of 365, while Arkansas Little Rock shot 500%. The leading scorer for the Trojans was Renita Garrett, who had 22 points. Along with leading in scoring, Garrett had a double-double. She also had 11 rebounds. The women's team is now 6-2 in conference play.
And the men's basketball team played at Appalachian State as well. The Trojans beat number 1 in the conference, Georgia State, prior to playing the Mountaineers. I was at the game to see how they did. The men's basketball team looked to continue their winning momentum Monday night against Appalachian State. However, the Trojans fell to the Mountaineers 69-64 to bring the Trojans' conference record to 2-5.
Ball wasn't rolling our way, and it was tough on a knock like that, but we still had a chance at the end, to try to pull it out, but we didn't. So.
In the first half, the Trojans started off slow as Appalachian State took an early 12-3 lead. However, by the end of the first half, the Trojans found some momentum to regain a 5-point lead, with the score being 34-29.
They nailed those 3 threes right off the bat, maybe a fourth one there in the first 5 minutes, and we told the guys at first media timeout, don't get caught up in that. Well, we told our guys, particularly as the half moved on, about 10 minutes in the half, we got to rebound the ball. They were getting us on offensive rebounds, and once we shut down their rebounding, and once we took command of the defensive backboard, we got out and started running, and that's when our quickness, I think, made a difference.
The second half was a different story as the Trojans continued to play aggressive, with the consequence of being littered with fouls and turnovers. However, throughout the night, it was the rebound game for the Trojans that hindered them.
I think second half, they just got too many second chances, and I think a couple times as well in defense, we didn't play smart. We let our post players get the ball too easy, getting the easy baskets. So, and that's my fault as well. I wasn't playing smart. I totally take the blame for that. But just some things you just got to work on, and we just got to focus on the next few days and try to get better.
Clay Yeager, Trojan Sports Now. And last night, the Trojans traveled to Little Rock, Arkansas to take on UALR. the Trojans were unsuccessful in snapping their losing streak 73-65. Troy led the Trojans at the break 34-25. However, ULR broke out in the first part of the second half, scoring 20 points while Troy answered with 2. Troy found some momentum later on in the second half, scoring a few quick shots, trailing 49-46. However, ULR had an answer as they went shot for shot with Troy. With 6 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the game, Troy was able to make it to a 2-point game, 55-53. But the Little Rock Trojans scored a 10-0 run to give them a cushioned lead and was not able to chip away at the gap. Chris Bilbo led the Trojans for his first time, scoring 15 points, while Wesley Person had a double-double performance with 11 points and 12 rebounds. Troy looked to break their 2-game losing streak this weekend against Arkansas State.
The track and field team completed their second meet of the season as they competed in the UNC Open over the weekend. The Trojans had their first win of the season along with several top finishes. For the women's 400-meter dash, Niata Alexander had her first collegiate win, finishing with a time of 56.7 seconds. In the 60-meter dash, Sydney Wright qualified in the preliminaries with a time of 7.77 seconds and came in third for the final race with a new personal best of 7.74 seconds. Julia Ostendorf finished second in the 3,000-meter run with a time of 10 minutes and 23 seconds, which was just 3 seconds shy of the leader. Head coach Mark Davis says these performances are what he is looking for in his team.
UNC was a good meet for us. We were able to go up and do a lot of good things. Niata Alexander continued, her great ways. She ran fast again. It was a flat track, so there was a conversion for it. So, her time is keeping her on the national list. Sydney Wright had a great meet as well. She PR'd in the 60 meters. We had a lot of great performances.
Next up, the Trojans will head to the Birmingham Crossplex this weekend for the UAB Vulcan Invitational.
The men's tennis team began their season over the weekend as they headed to Tallahassee to play against Florida A&M, and number 35 Florida State. The Trojans won at A&M with a score of 5-2. However, the Trojans came up short against the Seminoles 0-4. Daniel Bustamante and Lau Wan were, for Troy, complete the 5 points against A&M. However, the Rattlers won the double points over Troy. Against the Seminoles, Troy lost the doubles point as well as number 2, 3, and 5 singles to close the game. Troy looked to bounce back against SMU and Abilene Christian in Dallas this Saturday.
The football staff is now complete as 2 more members have been added to the coaching staff. Jamal Smith has been named the new Director for Player Development for the football program. Smith has served as Troy's Director of Football Operations for the past 18 months. Before taking the role as Director of Football Operations, Smith was the football video coordinator. This is Smith's ninth year to be working with the Trojans after playing for Troy as a wide receiver from 2001 through 2004. Todd Watson has been named Troy's Director of Football Operations. Watson comes to Troy from Foley High School, where he compiled a record of 80-36. Watson has coached players that went on to play at the collegiate and professional levels, such as Julio Jones. And head coach Neil Brown is excited that his coaching staff is now complete.
Very, very excited about our staff. First of all, the guys that were able to stay on, Kenny Edenfield as our offensive coordinator, Shane Wisen, the special teams coordinator, Sean Reagan, and Al Pogue. Really excited about those guys being able to stay here. Also, Jamal Smith, we've elevated him to Director of Player Development. He'll handle all things with our players as far as helping them from a leadership character standpoint. Also, any touching base with any entity on campus. And then really excited about adding Todd Watson as our Director of Football Operations and High School Relations, former head coach at Foley High School.
The Trojan football season will begin on September 5th as a start to the Neil Brown era.
The Troy University cheerleading squad headed to the Universal Cheerleaders Association College Cheerleading National Championships. The Trojans finished in 9th place at the competition, which was held at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. This was the second year in a row that the Trojans advanced to the small co-ed division finals. Coach Tiffany Chandler said a lot of hard work and preparation went to getting ready for the competition.
We've been practicing since September for this. Sometimes I don't think people understand that we never really have an off season. So during football, we started practicing for this, and then we went straight into basketball season, and we've been practicing. And then the group was here over Christmas break. They had a very short Christmas break because we were here while campus was closed, practicing for nationals.
The Trojans placed 9th trophy next to the 5th place trophy from last year. Still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan women's basketball team's next matchup.
But first, I had the chance to sit down with head football coach Neil Brown. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.